Today I'd like to talk to you about structure. In radio, as in probably television and film, structure is everything. Beginnings, middles, ends, light and shade. Without the structure, radio programs fall apart at the seams. You might have heard those crazy programs, the kind of zoo programs where everyone is laughing and joking away in a big circle. Radio 1 is quite fond of those sort of programs, but trust me, a lot of thought and effort goes in to making that kind of a program. I worked for 3 years on the Sandy Toksvig show. Sandy Toksvig is a small Danish lady. She's very funny, and she is over Radio 4 like a rash. Because she's a very clever person. But for some years, for 3 years or so, she worked at LBC. And I was the assistant producer with the lovely Tim, who was the main producer of the show. Every day I had to produce about 3 or 4 sketches that act as bumpers between Sandy's show and the commercial advertising, because you know the advertisers and Sandy, it was quite a gear change from them to her show. So we had this kind of buffer zone that allowed us to do some very strange things and interesting things and humorous things, which is what it was all about. But trust me, this was really structured. We would have a meeting after the show about what we might do the next day, and then in the morning we'd have quite a long meeting, about 40 minutes, where we'd all sit around, we'd have a cup of tea, there might be some cake if we were lucky, and talk about how the program was going to be. We already knew the guests, but how it was going to be structured, how one item would link into another, what the tone of the program would be like. We'd sometimes use colours or feelings for the whole program and try to keep to that tone or those elements throughout the show. Of course, it was Sandy's call. She did change things as we went along, but it was a structured program. It didn't maybe sound like it. It sounded like fun and humorous enjoyment, laughter. But trust me, we all knew our places and we all knew what we were supposed to be doing in those 2 hours that the program was on air 5 days a week at lunchtime. So it was a very interesting experience to work with Sandy, and also the help she gave me in writing comedic words and getting things out the door in a hurry as well. I'm totally indebted to her for that. That was a brilliant 3-year period of my life. So structure is important. Everything you want to do, if you want to do a radio show, you want to think, what is going to be at the beginning? What am I going to have halfway through? Or how will the thing come to conclusion? How will it end? In fact, sometimes I will start with the conclusion. Where am I going to? So I know my destination, and I'll head towards that destination in steps, and in steps that make sense and that interlink. So there's a skill and a craft to making radio shows. It takes experience, it takes time to get it right. God knows I have made some really bad radio in my life. I worked out a few months ago that in the 25 years I worked for Talk Station LBC, I probably produced over 16,000 hours of phone-in and talk format radio. And somewhere in those hours there might have been 1 or 2 absolute stinkers, I'm sure. So, structure. I'll teach you more about structure in the London Academy of Media and Film TV courses that we do, and how you can put together your own ideas and make them from a kind of ethereal mess in your mind to something that's focused and can actually be produced for broadcast. Until next time, take care, bye-bye.